Hey y'all. Hello my YouTube channel. Welcome from Latchkey to Legacy with Melba. I am one of your how can I say this? We are all Gen X here. If you aren't in Gen X, you missed out on the best time, the best parties, the best freedom as being a child, the best music of this lifetime. Okay, so hey y'all, how y'all doing? All my Gen X people. Most of my people probably over here are going to be women, I would assume. But today, well, let me introduce myself if y'all don't know me. This is my channel. I am Melba, and it's from Latchkey to Legacy. I'm Melba. I am in the group of the 1972 kids that grew up in the late 70s and 80s. My teenage years for it was in the 80s. Again, we had the best time. The memories are grand. Some days I wish I just go back for one day, but there's also a flip side to this, and that's what I'm here to talk about. Things that pertain to my life, that I know about, that I live through, is what I want to talk to. So, um, the subject, the title today is going to be when the streetlights came on. That was the When the street lights came on. That was the rule. Meaning, when the street lights come on, it was time to get your hightail it on to the house. Get your ass back on to the house. So that's what basically what I'm here to talk about today. Just want to talk about how we grew up and what was going on during that time frame. How were our parents dealing with us, and how were we dealing with ourselves? How were we living? How were we surviving during that time? Again, we had a good time. We didn't know we were pretty much being made into feral children during that time. It was just, I mean, it was what it was during that time. But y'all, I'm trying to fix my hair here. And anyway, yeah, basically during that time we played by ourselves all day. I know I spent a lot of time running after crawdads and turtles, and I was a tomboy during that time, so I was playing softball, baseball, football, basketball. I was riding bikes. Bikes was my favorite thing to do. Just all about having fun. We went to the park a lot. We went fishing a lot with our grandparents when we had to go over there. Went to the grandparents' house. What else did we used to do? Fishing. Would go back, and then we always had chores, of course. I would help, washing dishes, and at night we'd go outside and get ready. At that time, it was a beautiful time. We actually had what they call those lightning bugs, and we used to get the mason jars and get them together. And we just catch so many of them. And these days, you don't hardly see any of them. And actually, I'm gonna do a video about that. But I don't want to get off of pace. We're gonna have more time to talk about those good old days and the things that we used to do. And y'all, I'm smiling because I like my new teeth. They're cute. They did a good job, didn't they? I like them, and I got to get some more work done. When you get it going through menopause and all that stuff, crazy stuff start happening to your teeth, and they did a good job though. Yeah, I got to get this hair down. I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, let's get into it. Again, I'm Melba. Thank you for coming over here to my YouTube. And if you here now, please click the subscribe button and a like, comment, tell me about your story, and we're gonna get started. And I'm gonna have to remind y'all, please subscribe. I need like a whole lot of people. Okay. Um, when the street lights came on, that was the rule. We didn't have no texts, no chickening in, just be at home. That's what they wanted. Just be at home when them streetlights came on. And the points that I'm gonna put out today that we need to talk about what during our Gen X period is independence as kids, community accountability, how that shaped resilience in us, and why Gen X adapts so well today. Those are my little points that I got going on today. I don't know if I had anything else. I think that was it. So let's talk about the part of us being independent as kids. I know I was very independent. I was the oldest. I had three other siblings. They didn't know how to cook shit. I was the cooking it and making the sandwiches. Most of the time it was sausage and mayonnaise and bread and um nachos, barbecue ham. It was with real beef and the barbecue and the chips back then. Back then, I was love me some barbecue potato chips from I think it was Safeway that we used to go to. One of them so the stores that we had that's out of business. Um, Cook that. What else? I used to cook a lot. Used to cook a lot of potatoes. Got real creative on that point. So I got very independent to be a child. I was ironing at probably age 5, and like, why in the heck am I ironing on my own little badge for my own little shirt? I was just doing it. We were just independent, and when the parents were nowhere to be, no one was saying nothing. No one was saying anything. We were just doing it. We were just winging it. We were just getting on out there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna raise this up. We actually were just out there, just winging it out there in the world. So hold on, y'all. Just work with me. I don't want to get this to look right where it get right in my face like that. So I'm gonna put some stuff down and put this back over here. I should have got this together before I got online, but hey, it is what it is, y'all. I do know that I probably can remember being 4-year old doing things like uh, putting ice in the ice tray, making like those Kool-Aid popsicles. I remember doing that type of stuff, and nobody was around. And today, if my grandkids were doing that, I'd be screaming and telling them to get out the kitchen. No, you can't do that. That's what I was doing. I was like 4 years old. I was making popsicles. Sorry, y'all. I got one of these Mentos in my mouth. And yeah, so okay, yeah, that's good. So what were you doing it for? Do you remember you were doing it 4 and 5 years old? Tell me in the comments. I need all the comments I can get. I need all the likes I can get. I need all the subscribers I can get. Y'all, if you like me, hit that like button, okay? Okay. We grew up with an immersed, unsupervised freedom, often roaming neighborhoods. That's facts. Riding bikes and playing outside from and after school until the streetlights came on. I'd be like one of my teachers right at that point. This latchkey childhood built fierce independence. Y'all forget proper self reliance and resourcefulness, as they often came home to empty houses. Fixed with their. I'm getting back to myself. We fixed our own snacks and played without adult supervision. And these are some key aspects of our Gen X childhood experience. Um, is the golden rule. You need to get your ass home when that street light comes on. Get your ass home. Get your ass home when that street light comes on, or it's gonna be your ass. So basically, that's what it was. So I got I hold ass. If they want this, my siblings want to sit their crazy ass up there, I was like, you better get home. Daddy's at home, and they waiting on us to get home. It's very intense. If we don't get home when the street light is on. So I remember those days. So there wasn't your ass whooping. You had to be strategic about it. Get on home. get settled, do what they say they want you to do, go to your room for a little while, get on the phone, and guess what? Sleep back out. They wasn't there anyway. That's all you had to do. You had to be smart about how you did things back then, just to evade the whooping. And I did that good. I don't think I got more than 4 or 5 whoopings my whole childhood. I was a good kid, I think. In all. So yeah, the golden rule, the only requirement was to be at home by the time the street lights turn on, allowing for hours of unsupervised days. Facts. Uh Feral freedom. Us being Gen X children, we engaged in imaginative play. We did a lot of that. You went in hide and seek, played those game on Mary Max, Petey Pad, Uno, hopscotch, basketball, football, softball, tag. I think back then kickball was probably my favorite thing that I used to do back in the day. I like playing kickball and basketball and throwing the ball and softball. Oh yeah, one of the most beautiful things I used to like to do, which I never had a kite, but the kite days when everybody had a kite. Remember my uncle had one, and we used to go down there, and sometimes I used to hold it. It used to hold it up in the air, and it was that was the yeah. I used to like the kites back then. That was cool, and of course, the ladybugs that evening. So we had a full round day. Let me get back on track here. Um, we had unsupervised days, and if we were supervised, it wasn't for long. People were always going to leave us there. They always had something else to do, and they tell us to hold down the fork until they got back. They might not get back to a door or to around about time when the street light came on, but we had that whole day to run around with no way of getting back in the house, and we may have a container full of cold water, and we drunk it from water from a water hose once we ran out of that. Okay, the golden rule of we are been the feral freedom, children engage in imaginative play, street games, manhunt, ghost in the graveyard, explore miles from home without no tracking devices were there. Nobody, we were just from word of mouth, or they were down there about 15 minutes ago. We didn't have no cell phone tracking or consult adults for check-ins. No, that didn't happen. That never happened with me. Did that ever happen with y'all? Did y'all ever have to check in? I never did for hours. Okay, latchkey kids. Many of us grew up with both parents working, leading the kids, taking care of them ourselves after school. We took care of ourselves. Again, I make the sausage mayonnaise sandwiches, fried the potatoes. That's what we did after school. Cereal and milk. Used to get those sugar babies, those cereal. That's what we ate after school. Um, we were building independence uh, without instant help or technology. Kids learn to navigate conflict, solve problems, and take risks independently. And we did have community bonds. Kids of all ages in the neighborhood gathered together, forming strong bonds and managing their own social lives. This upbringing is often viewed with nostalgia. No, how do you spell that? Nostalgia. Yeah, I'm country. Uh, Gen X was we feel it created a unique, resourceful strength that set us apart from later generations raised with more supervision. Yeah, as years got over on down the road, there's became more supervision. As the baby boomers got older, all of a sudden they wanted their grandchildren to have more supervision because they had raised their kids without supervision. Isn't that something to discuss? Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is community accountability. Our Gen X streets are era symbolize a time of unsupervised, free range childhood where children roam neighborhoods until dusk. Oh, yeah. Community, that's going to be a common thing right there. Community accountability meant neighbor collective watched over kids, and their curfew was self regulated, fostering independence, but with firm, immediate accountability to return home. Guess when? When the street lights came on. That's it. That's the only thing they cared about was street lights. Okay. Another key aspect, safety via community. Neighbors often looked out for the children, collectively providing a sense of security without formal supervision. The rule the street lights turned on was the universal signal to go home, often enforced by parents who were otherwise hands off during the day. Accountability, the consequences for not returning was strict. Yes, it was. I got my ass whooped. Creating accountability for actions and safety. If I didn't get home on time, I had to go out there, and I didn't thought that was too good for me to go out and then go get my own switch. I don't think so. I think I'm going to get on home and do what you told me to do, and I'm going to my room. And when y'all leave, I'm going to go back out again. That makes more sense to me. That's me being a Gemini. I was thinking ahead. Don't like whoopings. Don't want to go out here and get a switch. If my siblings did it, that's on them. I'm going to my room and listen to them get their ass whooped. That was on them. That wasn't smart to be late. Okay. Contrast with today, many Gen X contrast this with modern parenting, which features more structured activities and less or different supervised outdoor play. Isn't that something? They had our asses outside in the hot sun, scorching, getting sunburned. Some of us, if you were light skinned enough. Well, Grandpa, well, I wasn't getting burnt. My sister was, but I had a hat on, long sleeves, and all that because I would get red, just red up in here. Nobody wants to be red all up in here all for the next 2 weeks looking crazy because I've been burnt to a motherfucking crisp outside because nobody's fucking watching us and the damn doors were locked. Man, it was crazy, man. I tell you. Okay, it says skeptical and highly self-reliant generation that grew into a bridge between the pre-digital and digital eras, able to adapt to significant technological shifts. So basically, we started with the analog, and then we got digital. I think when the digital started coming around about 2000 or so. Because I remember my husband still had that bag phone, and then it wouldn't work no more. Probably around 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. Okay, what else did they want us to? How it shaped resilience? Do y'all believe we have resilience? RESILIENCE, how that shaped resilience in us. Do y'all feel like maybe we got neglected and abandoned as kids, and we had to self raise ourselves, and maybe by these laws, baby boomer parents maybe need to be got locked up during those times. Have y'all ever thought about that? Okay. What are they talking about? Talking about for Generation X to rule to be home with the street lights. Again, a common thing was fostered intense independence and resilience by creating a child of unsupervised freedom and mandatory self resilience, whether we liked it or not. So we have to just go along with it. That's what our problem is. We just go along with it and say whatever, or without technology or constant parental supervision. I'm gonna start talking fast now. Gen X, because it's kind of boring to me, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but this shit is boring. But I got to do this for my YouTube, get it out, and make sense, common sense. But let's go with it. And then I'll say my part. Gen Xers learn to solve problems, resolve conflict, and navigate risk alone, fostering a thorough yet adaptable pragmatic mindset. So, y'all, we got a thorough yet adaptable pragmatic mindset. How the streetlight rules shape resilience, independent problem solving with parents unavailable at work, the latchkey generation. Kids had to manage their own time, hunger, and friendship, leading to figure it out yourself mentality, adaptability, and risk management. Roaming neighborhoods and woods without adult oversight taught risk assessment, scraped knees, and disagreements were handled by peers and not adults. That's facts. You got some bad nades? I cut myself. It's pretty deep. You got alcohol? What do you got? Peroxide? Let's do this shit. Let's get it done. Let's get because ain't nobody. I'm locked out the house. I can't get in. Okay, forced community building. Friendship groups were diverse and forced to shape exploration, built forts, biking. I did a lot of. I like the biking part and playing in creeks. I used to fish a little bit. I used to see the little homeboys that's 2 or 3 years younger than me. What are y'all doing down here in this ditch? Catching fish. And the motherfucker got a damn fish. Wow. Anyway, we created tight knit offline social bond, autonomy and trust. The absence of tracking technology allow children to learn responsibility and accountability for returning home, instilling a strong sense of independence and trust in their own judgment. Analog what was it? Adaptability, analog adaptability, the triple A's. Okay, lacking cellular phone meant learning to meet up, be present, and embrace the freedom of the outdoors until the physical sign of dark streetlights required them to return. This upbringing developed a pragmatic. They keep on saying this. Pragmatic, skeptical, and highly self-resilient generation that grew into a bridge the pre-digital and digital era, able to adapt to significant technological shifts. We did that. We did that shit. We went from analog to digital. We had to do a crossover. That's what we did. We crossed that over. Okay. Now we're going to go into more talking about the analog. Um, okay, this will go into why Gen X adapts so well today. Yeah, why we adapt so well today. Okay, because we switch over from analog to digital. Um, it kind of like we just adapt to whatever. We have to have our own minds. You have to have common sense to survive the 70s and 80s as a kid. Gen Xers, we're just tough and resilient, no matter what anybody says. Yeah. Gen X adapts well today because they are the bridge generation. So they do have a name for it. They grew up with an analog childhood and built the digital adult world known as the Latchkey Kid who played into streetlights. Again, there's a common thing. You can keep saying it. Streetlights came on. They developed extreme self-resilience and technological adaptability, evolving from rotary phones. I miss those rotary phones. Don't y'all miss those rotary phones where you can pick them or you get mad at somebody and just boom, throw that whatever motherfucker. Just boom, and hit it. Yeah, and they knew they felt that shit when you was mad at them. Don't y'all miss that? Boom. I used to do it all the time to people I didn't like. Okay, let's get back on track. Okay, the rotary phone and analog toys to pioneering the internet and smartphones. Why Gen X adapt so well today? Why do we? Analog childhood to digital childhood, Gen X, approximately, they're not going to get the year 1965 to 1980. You have to be during that time frame. If you didn't, you're not Gen X, so I'm sorry. Had the unique experience of a childhood without technology, requiring them to learn, adapt, and build digital technologies like video games, computer, the internet, extreme self-resilient as latchkey kids, often left alone due to high divorce rates and working parents. A lot of divorces were kicking off. Y'all remember that? There's always some bullshit going on in the neighborhood. Always hearing about cheating and shit. Yeah, I know y'all remember it. I do. I was a kid, like, what? And I'm hearing those talk about they getting a divorce, and all the cheating going on, everybody's hot and bothered. Wow. I'm a kid watching. Were y'all moving? Where y'all moving to? Talking about the kids in the neighborhood. I didn't have nobody else to play baseball with or basketball. Where everybody going? Everybody's getting fucking divorced, selling houses and shit. Requiring them to learn, adapt, and build digital technology, the video games, computers, and internet, extreme self-resilience. As latchkey kids often left alone due to high divorce rates and working parents, they learn to solve problems independently, resulting in a self-resilient and resilient nature. Rare. A lot of R's. Adaptability in tech and workplace because they will witness the evolution from electrical to electronic and digital. VCR, remember that? To the CDs. From electric to digital, they feel less overwhelmed by technological advancements, with 45% showing high interest in technology, bridge generation. Especially for those between that's talking about, yeah, 1977, 93. Well, they got me about 5 years. I was 72. That bridge the gap between analog nostalgia and digital agility. Streetlight mentality. The independence learned from navigating life without GPS or smartphones. Yeah, we didn't need all that. We just stopped over at the damn gas station and asked, where the fuck is that? What color is the building? What side of the road it's going to be? How many miles I need to go? What color? What are the other buildings down this road? That's what I used to do. And I'm fine. Okay. The independence learned from navigating like GPS. Okay, I'm already said that. Pragmatic approach. We tend to be skeptical yet practical, adapting to new technologies only when they add real world value. Okay, the streetlight legacy. We about to wrap this up. Freedom and responsibility. Growing up without constant supervision taught us to manage our own time and safety. Resilience. We did not have safety nets. Didn't have safety nets, y'all, which created a don't ask for help, just get done mentality. Let me repeat that again. We did not have a safety net. Think about that. Which created a don't ask for help, just get it done mentality. Okay, comfortable in solitude. Unlike younger generation, Gen X is comfortable with being alone and navigating digital spaces without being controlled by them. Bam. And y'all, I'm gonna say a few things about being during that time of Gen X. It made us superiorly independent. Um, it made us where we didn't want to ask for any help from anyone. We learned how to fix shit ourselves. I remember fixing TVs and stuff. Learn how to do all kinds of stuff that I probably shouldn't have. We were putting a little more foil on the antennas. We were bamming on them to get the color in and messing with the tubes. It just we just were so independent and we grew up so fast. And they talk about Michael Jackson. He didn't have a childhood help. We didn't either. So he got a little bit earlier than we did because of his music, but we it was just the way of life for us. How do y'all feel about that? Does it really do you have are y'all emotionally unavailable due to being raised by parent baby boomers, or some of y'all are not baby boomers but parent have baby boomer parent, but most of us do. How does it feel? What do you think the baby boomer parents could have did better for us to make us more emotionally healthy? I had to go do some counseling when I went to college, and I have a psychology, a bachelor in psychology now, and it really helped me figure out why I know really to do or it was hard for me to ask for help unless the person was my husband, and because he was born during that time too. So as you know, acts of service is the way we show love, which we might not say it, and we just like you still alive, if they're late or something and you made it home. I mean, it's kind of weird. But anyway, the way we grew up, I don't feel like it was normal for a child to be done that way. I think it is a form of abuse. I really do. And I'm just talking about it. That's one in my hair, y'all. I'm just talking about it because it needs to be talked about. I think baby boomers need to give us some type of reparations for how they done us, and they need to go ahead and give us the goddamn keys to their house and or sell it and give us half the money for them. And they need to go ahead and go live somewhere in a little tiny home some damn where by themselves. That's the way I feel about it because they sure in the hell was not watching us. The only difference between I think my grandparents took up more of the slack, so I was able to go to my grandparents' house, and that really helped me. They were actually there, and I was actually out there working with them with the farm animals and doing so. I spent a lot of time over there because I feel like somebody really gave a fuck over there. So I went over there a lot. I didn't care if anybody in my siblings want to go over there with me because it was too much stress over there. I was cooking and looking at it. It was ugh. Anyway, y'all let me know in the comments how do y'all think that it may have brought a bunch of you being overworked and you don't want to ask for help, and how is it affecting your relationships today or your marriages? How many times have y'all been married? I mean, or have y'all been divorced? I mean, did y'all follow along with the baby boomers getting married up to 6 and 7 times? Just let me know in the comments. But anyway, and until next video, y'all take care out there. When you see another Gen Xer, y'all talk about some things and share notes about how y'all life turned out, and hell, give each other a hug. Until the next video, uh, y'all take care of yourselves. Much love to all the Gen Xers, and I'll see y'all soon. I'll be unlike I'll be back probably before the street light comes on. Y'all take care. Bye. Y'all, I'm going to smile. My teeth, y'all.